Welcome back. Welcome to India's largest online platform. You're able to access the top educators at a single desk. Channel name is Let's Crack You. Subscribe it for updates and notifications. Completed your constant link or an academy profile. Or you can do is you can get all the link in the description box, which is it, and you can join the link. What you get courses, structured courses, and unlimited access to our enrolling in offer. So it is like a more or less like accessed our if you had visited or accessed our free demo class, you will be know how the classes will be. It is more interactive. You can have discussion, you can have a doubt clearance section, like a structured approach, and also unlimited access. Once you are enrolling into of the subscription plan, you can watch all the live and recorded section, and it is according to your comfort. Or you can download the account and the app store. Our new classes like get it for 1,000 rupees. 1,000 how? By using this as a referral code. Proceed today, you get this discount. That is 3 months. Get it for 20,000 by using my code, and 12 months is 44. 24 months is like 6. Get it for 36 months. That is for 3 years. So those who are in the first year and all, you won't for the silver. You can use this code. Like 3 years will be very holistic, and course fee like, and you can pay it all these after EMI. That is like month you can access get it. That's a burden like 1 month, 1 year is like 2,000, the original price is 49,500. You are using, but we are get it for 4,500. We are having a subscribe this less optional or optional subscription optional and this for this to 40 36. This is also you can get for IJU and get a fees based on any of that's our dedicated option. Commerce and geography. MC MC conducted here in the there's a free you can watch it. You told also the supplementary note is also being provided for the section. Which of the following is our true with the first question? Yes. Which of the following are true of the provisions 74th Amendment Act on Municipalities, Ward Committees for Wards Act, state government advise them to levy taxes, a municipal council any function comes is 1 and 4 option. Option can just wait for a while and think and write app. Read the question. Take time. Fine. Got enough question. 3. The answer for the question. So, what is 74th Amendment Act? Which year it has been passed? What does it imply? It has brought significant changes in urban local government. Significant changes in the urban local government. You can see here in that urban local government. So, what are the main important points or the thing that has been mentioned? Constitution of urban local body. Every Indian, that is constitution of urban local body. You have to an urban local body. So, what is this urban local body? Municipalities, council, municipal corporation, panchayat or town panchayat, pot trust, etc. is known as comes under urban local bodies. Fine. Something which the administrating at 74th Amendment, also the 73rd, decentralize the power. Like many committees, L.N. Singhai Committee, Rao Committee, which are the other committees? Balwant Rai Committee, Ashok Mehta Committee. So these are the committees which were being mentioned about. I have seen some of the committees we have already gone through it. So after that, the 74th Amendment Act important. And what are the main objectives or what are the main features? It constitutes the municipal corporation. Every state, right, which is given that you have to constitute urban local body for the governance of the citizens. Constitution of ward committees. Constitution of ward committees within the territorial area of the municipality. To the territorial area of the municipality, ensure people participation civic affairs at grassroots level. Engage people in the grassroots level. Encourage grassroots ward committees. Encourage the people in the grassroots to the people, the thing. And so, what is the suspension? How many times, how long you can suspend this municipal government? Not more than 6 months. Only up to 6 months suspend this. After that, you have to constitute a urban local body. It also ensures that the weaker sections of the society, like women representation, the must scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, backward class representation. So, reservation given. The other thing is specification of law to the state legislature. So, state legislature will be coming this. Who is the discretion power having deciding about election? That is the Election Commission. Election Commission of India. Constitute of State Finance Commission every 5 years to review financial position of municipalities. Recommendation. So the highlight or important points which is under 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. So which articles will be covered? That is Article 240, Article 240 said articles. Up to this article it is, excuse me, right, which is the part 9 of the Constitution. So shall we move to the next question? It's an assertion question. See, what is this question? Questions are not there, but this is question paper. So just factors it, get more into. Cannot tell that. Yeah, it cannot be. Number of members of the mind. Reason is the members of the UP appointed by the president. Select the correct code. Option both A and R is correct. Both A and R are true. The correct explanation. A is true but R is false. D is false but R is true. Think for a while, then answer. So I think you got time. Understand the question, right? Got a clear cut answer. So what is the answer for the question? Answer the, both A and R are true, but R is not correct explanation. The assertion type question is, we'll just more analyze it. The number of members of UPSC is determined by president. Yes, that is true. But why? The members of the UPSC are appointed by the president. This is the wrong statement. But members of the UPSC are appointed by president. That is a correct statement. Both of the statement is correct. Okay, both statements are correct. But the UPSC number of members of UPSC and the president, that is not why the president is appointing the UPSC members. So both things, when the both are true, R is not the correct explanation of. You know when the first Public Service Commission set up? It was in October 1st. October 1st is also something. October 2nd is Gandhi. October 1st, something related to elder citizens. In that day, try to find it out. Okay. It was in the year 1st October 1920. For the first time, a Public Service Commission was set up in. So the very origin of this Public Service Commission back to the Government of India Act 1930. Trace back the evidence. So where you get the evidence? You get the evidence, or you can track the evidence to 1935. Article 316 deals with the appointment and term of office of members. So which are the articles which is related to the first article is article, that is, it deals say that Indian constitution with a public service commission. The word not as UP, just public service commission. Always remember, in article 315 it is not mentioned UPS, but it is mentioned as public service commission. Constitution, the public service commission, and its composition is being mentioned in article 316 of the Constitution of India. And UPSC comprises of a chairman or chairwoman, chairperson, who be and is appointed by the president, who appoints a president, who appoints the UPSC chairperson. It is appointed by the president. So who get the eligibility? At least one half of the appointed members of the held office for at least 10 years, either under the government of India or under the government of a state. So, is there any provision to appoint somebody as an acting chairman? Yes, there is provision to appoint a person as an acting chairman. When is that? The office of chairman, or if it is vacant, or the chairman or commission unable to perform the duties of his office. So, what is the tenure of the office? 6 years, or until you get, or he or she get the age of 65. And even the members want to resign, they can resign it. There is no issue. What are the duties and functions of UP? The main function of UPSC this exam, UPSC conduct appointments of service of the union, which includes all India services, central services, public service of union territories. So, who is appointing the authority? The appointing authority are to conduct the exam is by all India, for the all India service, central services, and public service. It assists states in framing and operating for the joint recruitment of any services. For the joint recruitment of any services, it works together. If two or more states ask them to do, okay, it is consulted like recruitment for civil service and civil post, and like transfer from one service to another on the suitability of the candidates for appointments, transfer, promotions, etc. being done. Any claim of cost, word, personal management referred to by the president. Any personal management referred to by the president. So, to whom the report has to be submitted? Report has to be submitted to the president. Every year or every year, annually or every year, whatever be, you have to submit this public service commission. Submit a report to the president of each. The president can confer additional functions to the service of the union. It also extend the functions of UPSC by placing personal system of any local authority or body cooperated by law or any public. I hope you're clear with it. Yesterday also we dealt with one or more question, right? So now the next question. The government of all India service work in central government, state government and union territories. They are selected and recruited on the basis of all India competitive examination conducted by UPSC. Both A and R are true, and R is a correct explanation. Both A and R are true, but that is not a correct explanation. A is true, but R is false. A is false, but R is true. Take time and answer it. Don't much time, because we already had an explanation about this question right now but in a different way. Right. What is answer? Answer for the question is obviously both A and R is, but R is not a correct explanation of it is mentioned in the constitution. That is all the thing. And so Union Public Service Commission can advise the president on all the matters relating to the methods of civil service and for civil posts. So it also look into all the disciplinary matters affecting a person serving under the government of India or government of its capacity. So main conduct an all India service examination. It also, what are the other functions? It also help in framing, operating. Also, when joint required, you can. What are the things we left out? So, Article E20, which is also coming under this All India Service, it announces that the remunerations, is talking about remuneration and allowances, SC chairperson, from where it is being charged. It is charged upon the Consolidated Fund of India. Remuneration which is given the PSC chairman is charged from the Consolidated Fund of India. Fine. And one more important thing is that I missed out. The chairperson of the UPSC cannot take any profit under the central or state government. It cannot take any profit under central or state government after his retirement from service as a chairman. Chairman of the Union Public Service Commission has not been authorized to take any office of profit. It cannot take any office of profit. One, it's being a member of it. How can the UPSC chairman be removed? Chairman by as per the constitution. So independence of UPSC. Chairman and member of a UPSC can be removed from office of the president only in matter and matter on the ground which is mentioned in the constitution. That is, simply you cannot go and remove a UPSC chairman. So whatever being given or whatever being is meant according to the constitution only. One more important thing, a person who is holding as the chairperson of what? A person who is holding an office as a chairperson, the service that is in the UP cannot be is not able to have any reappointment any of the services. The services it cannot have a reappointment. Fine. This is all about the. I hope you're clear with it. Move to the next question. The principle of rule of lapse, rush of expenditure towards the end of a finance. The unspent voted expenditure lapse by end of finance. Select the correct. Both A and B are. That is not a correct explanation of both A and R, but R is not. A is true, but R is false. False, but R is true. take time and term you have to note here is rule of lapse. Rule of lapse. So what is the answer for the question? Answer for the question is both A and R are true, but and R is the correct explanation of. So the term what you have to know about is lapsing of bill or rule of lapse. What is this lapse, or when does a bill lapse? The parliament, the position of bill. I think I have to explain it additionally. That's why lapse of bill, bill lapse as of being position of bills in the either house of the parliament. Even Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha varies. So the rule of lapse, or when does a bill lapse? For the B. So this bill lapse does not have any connection with what is being here. That is the principle of rule of lapse leads to rush of expenditure towards the end of the financial year. That is obvious. Unspent voted expenditure would lapse by the end of the year. Lapse means you are not getting it. We automatically stopping here. So what does a lapse in the parliament? Lapse either house of the parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha varies respect to circumstances in parliament. Dissolution of Lok Sabha is always followed by lapsing of. So what happened? Which are the situations? Other situations when a bill lapse. That is when a Lok Sabha is dissolved. When a Lok Sabha dissolved. The pending bill in the parliament will lapse automatically. When the Lok Sabha is lapsed, pending bill automatically. Fine. So we'll see. So when Lok Sabha dissolves, what happened? We are going to see that pending bill in the parliament automatically lapse. A bill which is pending in the Lok Sabha is automatically lapse when a Lok Sabha dissolves. Also at the same time, a bill passed by the Lok Sabha and is pending in the Rajya Sabha, when the Lok Sabha dissolves, that bill also will lapse. That is, a bill is being passed by the Lok Sabha. First of all, a bill is being passed by the Lok Sabha. After the bill is being passed by the Lok Sabha, it is being transferred to the Rajya Sabha. Before it is get passed, unfortunately, the government fall down or the Lok Sabha dissolves. When Lok Sabha dissolves, this is also dissolved. A bill not passed by the two houses. This is the condition. A bill not passed by the two houses due to disagreement, and if the president has notified the holding of a joint sitting of the Lok Sabha, then the bill does not lapse. That is, so the two houses having disagreement regarding any particular bill, and finally they decided, that is the president decided, yeah, we can have a joint section. And before a joint, what happened? Lok Sabha dissolved. What happened to that bill? Decided to pass. It will not be lapsed. Get opportunity to pass the bill. Fine. A bill which is pending in the Rajya Sabha but not passed by the Lok Sabha, what happened? That bill will not lapse. So whatever being passed in the Lok Sabha and is transferred to the Rajya Sabha, that bill will pass. That bill will lapse. But a bill which is passed in the Rajya Sabha, so the bill has initiated from the Rajya Sabha simply and is passed in the Rajya Sabha, and now it's going to send to the Lok Sabha. Before that, the Lok Sabha dissolved. What happened? The bill. The bill will not lapse. It will continue. A bill is passed and now it is under the circumstance or discretion power of the president. So that such kind of bill will not lapse. A bill passed by both the houses, and when it reached the president find that something, and he is asking them to reconsider such bill, and such bill won't lapse. Symbol prorogation does not have any effect on the pending bill. Prorogation does not have any effect on the pending bill. All motion, resolution, amendments pending laws will lapse in Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha dissolve all the pending things, whatever being in the Lok Sabha, that is an amendment when it being lapsed. So this is the case how a bill is lapsing in Lok Sabha. Rule of lapse has the I thought a cable or more. That is all about a case of bill of lapse. Fine. So the question here is not bill of lapse. What do you mean by a bill of lapse? A bill of lapse means, a rule of lapse means, what do you mean by the rule of lapse? All appropriation voted by the legislature expire at the end of a financial year. Rule of lapse means, so we were discussing about lapsing of bills in the parliament. So what is this? Is it same with this rule of lapse? Rule of lapse means all appropriations is voted by the legislature expire at the end of a financial year. So this rule of lapse is decided with what? You might be having thinking, since the word lapse is being, I'm explaining about Lok Sabha lapse. So is this having any connection with the rule of lapse? Rule of lapse. What is this? Rule of lapse is something related to the principles of budgeting. Since the lapse is being given, I don't want you people to confuse with this rule of lapse with lapse of bills in Lok Sabha. So we have clearly seen what you mean by lapse of bills in Lok Sabha. Now we are going to see what is this rule of lapse. It's actually mean. It's a part of, simply it's a part of budgeting. Principal annually imply that money left. It's saying that you are left leaving money and spent. Here must also lapse. Public treasury and government not be spent unless it is re-sanctioned in the next year. So you are at an end of the financial year, some money will be expired or some. You have to give a re-sanction. So this is something words of budgeting. So can you tell me some other words which is budgeting, operations, physical discipline. The other word which comes here is physical discipline. These are the words which are very important. Physical discipline means what? The bill should be balanced. The budget should be balanced and should be able to display congruence between the income and expenditure. This is known as fiscal discipline. Fiscal discipline means the budget should be balanced and should be able to display. The budget should be balanced and it should be able to say the congruence between income and expenditure. Another word which is the budgeting. Then the other word is principles of annuality. So principles of annuality, what is this? Every year you are preparing a budget. That is simply and an optimum period will be decided to do the functions of a budgeting. That is known as principle of annuality. And what is this rule of lapse? Other word which is coming with the budget is inclusive. Include the other word which is what is this inclusiveness? To include the different type of budgets, different type of expenditure at our income. Expenditure, you can say that expenditure and revenue, both the expenditure and revenue is being included in an include. Everything is included and everything is being discussed. Then the other term which is associated with the budgeting is accuracy. What is this accuracy? Word accuracy means it should be correct. And the budget figures predictions of amount of money to be generated in forthcoming year and its expenditure. Fine. Transparency and accountability, as the word indicates, some transparency and accountability. Whatever BRB is all about. So I hope this is from a budgeting. I explained what is this bill of lapse. Sorry, bill lapsing in Lok Sabha. Because you should not confuse with this with the rule of lapse. Rule of lapse is something always related to budgeting. Done. We'll move to the next question. Match the following. List 1, Parliamentary Committee. List 2, when it is created. Committee on Government Assurance, 1920. Committee on Public Undertaking, 1950. On Subordinate Public Accounts Committee, 1950. One is 1960. Try to answer this. Option is A, B, C is given. Option A, 4153, 541. C is 452. D is 2543. Right. Take a minute time and answer. Not 10 minutes, less than. Answer is 254143. Correctly matched. So these are the different type of. What do you know about this on government assurance? Committee on Government Assurance. What do you know about it? Or do you know anything about this, any of this committee which is mentioned here? So when did it constituted in the Rajya Sabha? It was constituted in Rajya Sabha in 1970, the first time, okay. But first time before that itself, it has been committed or it has been stated. I think we had a discussion of that as committee of financial committees, type of standing committee, committee on agriculture, undertaking, etc. Ad hoc committee. I think we discussed already. Do you remember? There are mainly two type of parliament committees. What are the two type of parliament committees being mentioned? That is a standing committee and another ad hoc committee are the two type of parliamentary are coming across when we are being studying it. So standing committee like financial committee. So government of assurance is committee to scrutinize and control. It's a part of committee to scrutinize and control. So what is the function of this committee? Committee on government assurance, to assure something, function something, right? That is, we're going to see a small explanation. I guess you need the explanation. 15 members. Committee on Government Assurance includes 15 members. And this 15 members, who is nominating them? 15 members are being nominated by the speaker. A minister is not nominated to be, no minister is a part of this committee on assurance. So committee on assurance is which is created for the first time in 1953. It is in 1972 in the Rajya Sabha. Okay. So that include 15 members. In 15 members are nominated by the speaker and no minister is a part of this. No minister is a part of this committee. So what is this? The main function. While replying to the questions, House discussion on bills, resolution, etc. What is this? So you have to understand it. So what is being given? Why is this? You have to in-depthly assurance it in-depthly study. So this is a function of committee. So this is going to study why this such actions are being taken on ground. Then what you have heard about is committee of subordinate legislation. What is this? Committee on public accounts might have here. What is public? The second committee which is coming here is Committee on Public Undertaking, right? Committee of Public Undertaking, which 15 members. 15 members are elected directly from the Lok Sabha and 7 members from the Rajya Sabha. This is how the constitution is being done. And the term of the committee. What is the term of the committee? The term of this committee for 1 year. After 1 year, it is main aim to understand or to study the reports of accountings and public undertakings, to examine what the Computer and Auditor General reports, to study the reports of the Computer and Auditor General. So these are the main right. Then comes Public Accounts Committee. What is this Public Accounts Committee? Public Accounts also consists of 15 members and from Lok Sabha and 7 from Rajya Sabha. Here, a minister is not eligible to be a part of this committee. A minister is not eligible to be a part of this committee. And the term is 1 year. Main duty. What is the main duty of this Public Accounts Committee? The main duty of the Public Accounts Committee to see whether the money granted by the Parliament has been according to the demand. So some money will be granted by the Parliament, right? Is it being spent according to that? So it also checked like the appropriation of the Government of India, audits and presented by the Controller and Auditor General, etc. Then Committee on Subordinate Legislation. What do you mean by Committee on Subordinate Legislation? What do you know about it? Is it a part of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? This is also a 15-member committee and it is nominated by the Speaker. A minister is not a part of this committee, that is Committee on Subordinate. So it is discussing the matters with the rules, regulations and sub-laws what are being conferred by the Constitution of India. So this is all about it. So do you have any doubt regarding this question or about this? So which of the following are true of Central Vigilance Commission? There are some more committees on that. I hope I haven't questions. We'll discuss rest of the committees when this is being coming, or we'll discuss right now. I hope we'll discuss, have a small discussion some committees. That is, you hear about other committee committee on paper laid on table. Have you heard such? Yes, there is such committee known as Committee on Papers Laid on Table. It is also a 15-member committee nominated by the Speaker. It examined all functions laid on the table of housely ministers before the House, whether there has been a compliance of province of the Constitution Act and to check whether there has been any unreasonable delay in the reporting, laying in the papers. Some papers will be in the table of the government, right? Table on the minister. So the main aim of the committee is to check that. And maybe assigned, the functions will be assigned by the Speaker time to time. There is a committee known as Committee on Petition. Committee on Petition. Committee on Committee on Petition. This is like a 15-member committee. Committee on Petition is like a 15-member committee which is nominated by the Speaker. A minister is not nominated. No minister is a part on Committee on Petition. Committee on Petition is a 15-member committee. It is nominated by the President, but a minister is not a part of this committee. So it is covering subjects which are not covered in petitions and discussions. Function of the committee to consider the report on petitions in the both houses of the Parliament. Then which is other committee which has been discussed. Joint Committee on Office of Profit. Joint Committee Office of Profit, that is a 15-member committee. Another 15-member committee. Okay. 10 members are elected from the Lok Sabha and the 5 members from the Rajya Sabha. that is joint committee. As the name indicates, a joint election were 10 members from Lok Sabha, 5 from the Rajya Sabha. It is made examine the composition and character of the committees appointed by central and state government and recommended what office should disqualify and what officers should not be disqualifying a person. There is a committee known as Railway Convention Committee, that is an ad hoc committee. The rest of the things what we discussed, the standing committee. So mainly the parliamentary committee has divided into, I think in a previous test we have discussed that is two committees. What are the two committees? Ad hoc committee and standing committee. This all are coming under the standing. Now we are going to see about a ad hoc committee, that is a Railway Convention Committee. This is a 12-member committee. Okay. Sorry, 18-member committee where 12 members are from the Lok Sabha and the remaining from Rajya Sabha. So two members will be there, that is Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Railways. Ministry of Finance plus Ministry of Railways. Both are part of the. So the main function of the committee is to the rate of dividend payable by the railway undertaking. So the general revenue. So you get more revenue in railways before. So that will be discussed and how to be. The railway committee was first. This committee was being formed for the first time in 1949. Well, this committee was formed here in the first for the 14. What happened in 2017? Till 2017, we had two separate budget. That is budget for railway and the one other budget for what? The normal general budget. Now, from 2017 onwards, this budget has been clubbed. Yes, of course, as a woman, I have to mention the Committee on Women on Empowerment. This is a 30-member committee. This Women on Committee is a 30-member committee. 20 nominated by Speaker from Lok Sabha and 10 nominated by the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. So 20 members are being nominated, total 30 members, that is Women on Committee on Women Empowerment. Out of this 30 members, 20 are from the Lok Sabha, which is nominated by the Speaker, and 10 from the Rajya Sabha. This is all about it. One other committee is Rules Committee. Okay, to form the rules, pursue the rules, all these things. A rule committee is a Lok Sabha chairperson. Speaker is the ex officio chairperson. Ex officio chairman of the committee. Speaker. Speaker is the ex officio committee. This is like with other business done. I hope I have discussed almost all committees. Sorry, so if other questions which also coming up will be done. Now comes under sixth question. Which of the following is all true about central which set up on the recommendation does not exercise CPT resolution? Yeah. It consists of a chairman and 3. What is I hope you got enough time to answer the question. Answer 1 and 3. This is set up on the recommendation of Santana Committee and it is set up by an executive resolution of the Government of India. Both of the statements true regarding this. So Central Vigilance Commission is a statutory body which come under the Act, Statutory Act, which is passed in the year 2003. And what is the background? It was by the recommendation of the to curtail the corruption. It was in 1960 for the first time. The very idea of Central Vigilance Commission by the recommendation of Sandhanam Committee curtail the corruption. A lot of corruption problems being going on the so they wanted to stop it. To wanted to curtail to stop it. This committee was being the year 1964 for the first time by the recommendation of Anam Committee 2003 by a statutory by an act. It gave a statutory it is an independent body. Then whether it is responsible to only to parliament, only responsible parliament, responsible, this is very important, only responsible is something which is only responsible to parliament. Fine. Is it a single member body or multi-member body? It is a multi-member body which consists of and not more than 2 persons. Central Vigilance Commission plus 2 commissioners are part of it. Central Vigilance Commission is appointed by the President on the recommendations of the Committee on the Prime Minister, consisting of Prime Minister as a chairperson. So, Central Vigilance Commission is basically a multi-member body and one chairman or chairperson, what will be, and 2 members. And that 2 members are known as Vigilance Commission. Fine. The Central Vigilance Commission and are appointed by the President, the recommendation of Prime Minister, Minister of Home Affairs, and Leader of the Opposition of the House of the. So, who is being appointing it? It is being appointed by the President, but it is on the recommendation of the Prime Minister. The members of the party, or Lok Sabha, that is the member. Opposite will be the Leader of Opposition, House of the Parliament. House of the People. What is House of the People? They are a part of that. We are discussing all these things. Might be known. I don't want to explain. Ministry of Home Affairs is the and chairperson who is being presiding, wanted to be as Prime Minister. So, what is the office terms? The office term of a Central Vigilance Commission is 4 years, no, 4 years, age 65 years, whichever is earlier. Central Vigilance Commission for 4 years and bar the 65 years, whichever. So, which establishment it can have a super? Does not superintendence over the functioning of CBS. So, automatically means that it can have a superintendence on some other police. That is Delhi Special Police Establishment. For the Delhi Special Police Establishment, it have the superimposition or super things. So far, it relates to the investigation of offences under the Prevention of Corruption Act 1980. So, what is the investigation wing of Central Vigilance? Does not have a single window, single as that a single investigation. The investigation is depending, and it depends on CBI and the Chief Defense Office officers of central organization. And so this is all you want to know about it. Hope you clear with the idea, the concept. Any doubt regarding any of the topic? You have any doubt? The topics. I will move next question. Which of the following will be of declaration of national emergency by the president? The president can issue directives to the president and owner of the Lok Sabha. The president can suspend all fundamental rights of the president can modify the distribution of option A 1, option B 4, option C 4, and D is 1, 2. Had a big explanation emergency. Take time and answer it. So what is the answer? Answer is B 1 and 4. Answer for the question B 1 and 4. So I'll give a very small explanation. I don't want much sense because we already discussed. So national emergency is coming under Article of the Constitution is about national emergency. Two terms or two way you can have on the two grounds you can say that is a national emergency, that is on the war or external aggression. Then it is external aggression, external emergency. So if it is an armed rebellion, then it is declared. If based on an armed rebellion, it is declared that is integral emergency. So 44th Amendment Act has added the term armed rebellion. Two cases like is external emergency. National emergency can be divided into two, that is external emergency. Other one is internal emergency. Internal emergency can be declared on the ground of armed rebellion, and it is mentioned according to it is being amended in Article 40th Amendment Act. Forty-fourth Amendment Act actually added this term. Fine. For that, it is known as internal disturbance. The president can declare a national even before the actual occurrence of war or armed rebellion. General idea. Which one of the following pairs is correctly matched? Option A is 19 hierarchy at the center, 18 portfolio 35 Act bicameralism is Governor General. Yeah. So don't worry if you're having a doubt. I think my profile means in the description box, my link is just message me up. I didn't get the point, so I'll explain to you. I'll send it. But when you are taking a doubt clearing section, 1999 hierarchy at the center, 1991 Act portfolio, 1935 Act bicameralism. The act is Governor General of 1990 is hierarchy at the 18th Act is portfolio system, 35 Act bicameralism is Governor General of India. Correctly 1919 Act, hierarchy at the center. Is it right or wrong? It's wrong. 1919 Act is otherwise known as Chelmsford Reforms, and it is the word provincial autonomy is one of the great features of it, and it separated the powers, abolished the hierarchy at the center. For the first time, it introduced what? Bicameralism. 1999, bicameralism, direct elections in the country for the first time. Of this, the main function of this act was to relaxing, demarcating, and separating the central provinces. Since I have marked here this thing that is answer. The answer for the question is 18th Act, Governor General of India. That is true. The word which is coming here is bicameralism. Other features of the act is like, for the first time, the word bicameralism appearing and the country, that is legislative council being replaced by a bicameral legislature consisting of the upper house, council of state, and a lower house. The majority of the houses are chosen by direct elections. To add 3 of 6 members of Viceroy's Executive Council and were to be Indian. It required 3 of 6 members. So total 6 members there in the Viceroy's Council. Out of the 6 members, 3 members to be Indians representation. It extended communal representation. Extended the communal representation by providing separate electrolytes for 6 Christian, not the general Christian, other Christians, only Anglo-Indians, Europeans. Bicameralism, communal representation, 6 Anglo-Indians and Europeans. And so, whether every people right to vote? No, not every people right to vote. It was based on your property. So, if you're having this much property, you can write. Otherwise, can't. Also based on your education. It created a post known as High Commission of India. High Commission of India, a post, a new 1926, a Central Public Service Commission set up for recruiting the civil service. All you want to know the general idea of this act. Then what is this 80? The answer for the question is not D. Marked it wrong. That is 8. That is an act which comes to the portfolio. Okay. What is this 1? 1 act. Known as Act of 1. It was passed by, of course, by the British Parliament. Is what? Portfolio system. Also, the process of decentralization in one act. Portfolio plus decentralization. Centralization reduced. Centralization is provided portfolio, and decentralization is the introduced for the first time. Fine. One, portfolio system plus decentralization is the introduced. Other third is, now onwards there is no distinction between central and provincial subjects. What are the key features? Expansion of Executive Council or the Viceroy's Council is something was being here. So that is 6 members was already there. It was extended to 12 members. Authorized to nominate a president to preside over the meeting of Executive Council in the presence of presidents to preside over the meetings. So if Viceroy is not there, a president can act it. Rules and regulations to conduct the business of Executive Council. All laws to the Secretary of the State of India, who could disallow them with assent of the Crown. Then that is what is meant by this portfolio system. A special task with the individual members of the council. Hence, all the members have their own portfolio and are left with their own initiative. But the most important matters. For the first time, the portfolio system was being introduced. It's all about it. So, 1935 Act does not have bicameralism, and 1850 Act does not have any Governor General. So what is 1935? Government of India Act 1935. It is otherwise known as the Government of Burma Act of 1935. What are the main demand? Creation of an All India Federation. For the first time, federal system. Federation. So 1935 Act, even the word federation can directly give. And provincial autonomy, the hierarchy at the center. Federal court is being in council and franchise organized. These are the things given here. It's a big act, detailed thing. Fine. So just what is the background? Why this act was there? Failures of something. First round, it was like the recommendation of first round round table conference, and white paper was being published by British government in 1933 on the third round table conference. Okay, like the recommendation on it, report of joint select committee, etc. is the reason why this act is being and created for the 1950. The act itself is being felt like federal list, provincial list, a concurrent list has been given for the first time. Charter Act of, what is the other name of Charter Act of? So who was the master being? Who also, an Indian also had a much role in for the act, that is Raja Ram Mohan. He played a much interesting and visited Bombay. He visited England. He gave many petitions. As a result, this act has been passed. So for the first time, executive and legislative of the Governor General's Council has been divided. 2 6 members being added, Legislative Council A separate Governor General Legislative Council can send Legislative Council. So, rise to Indian Legislative rise. This for the first time local represent and six new legislative members, Governor General Council. Four members were appointed by the local government of Madras, Bombay, and all you want a big explanation. This is more than enough, right? 9 questions of the following is a true of President's ordinance power is laid down in Article 123. We discussed the same type of question as ambit is coexisting the legislative power of the Parliament can promulgate an ordinance and Lok Sabha is not the discrete power of the President of 1, 2, and 3. For option B, 1, 1, 2. I hope you question correct because we have, I think we have a similar kind of question. One and two. Context. Which are the following are limitation of sovereignty of rights, duty, federalism, and written constitution? Option A 1, 2, 3, and 4. Option B 1 and 2. 1, 2. Question 1. Assertion Government of India powers. Government of India Act 35 added the subject. Right now both A and R are the true and R is correct. True, but R is not but R is false. False, but R. The answer for the question false, but R is. Now, so what is here? What are the main 1935 Act? The question comes from It will be very easy to answer. What are the first salient features? Abolition of provincial hierarchy and introduction of hierarchy at center. Introduction of hierarchy at the center is by this production of hierarchy. Abolition of and introduction of an abolition of council and advisory body, of an advisory body. Provision for all India Federation, British Indian territories. Elaborate safeguard and provincial supremacy of parliament. Sides of they proposed for an all India Federation. As for an all India Federation, all India Federation. All India Federation. 11 provinces of and like 6 commission like that. I don't exactly remember, but this is how it is. And main highlight of this was this hierarchy at the center. That is, the authority of the center was vested with the governor. The executive authority of the center was vested with the governor on behalf of crown. The federal subjects were divided into twofold categories of the reserved, and so you can see like reserved and transferred subject. Reserved and transferred subjects were created, and nothing were responsible to the legislature, federal legislature. A federal assembly also created in the principal states. That is the Turner of the law, the federal legislature. That is, federal legislature means two houses: the Council of States and Federal Assembly. Council of States and Federal Assembly. Federal Assembly is a part of this. And Council of State, 1/3 of the members will be retiring every 3 years. Third year, composed of 2 members, that was a further, out of which 150 were representative of the British and 101 were from Indians in states. Then representatives of the, that is 150 out of 150 representatives were being elected on the communal basis. Communal basis, and was being selection is conducted all this like separate reservation for Muslim, Indian Christian, Anglo-Indian. Depressed class were filled by direct election, not by direct election, by indirect election. Your property is being counted for and all. The Federal Assembly is also there, and it has the tenure of 5 years. So they were formed a Federal Assembly. Federal was formed. Tenure was term was 5 years. This main aim or main importance which comes that is a provincial autonomy. A provincial autonomy was being declared. Provincial autonomy was being all about it. Which of the following is federal feature constitution? Constitution by Kamal legislature, office of CH, collective responsibility, office of governor. Option 1, 2 and 3. Option B, 1, 2, and 5. Option C 1, 2, and 3. Or D and 2. Answer is 1 and 2. Constitution, Tricham, Legislature, Office of Negotiation, Collective Responsibility, Office of the Governor. Option A. Option B is 1, 2, and 5. Option 1, 4, 1 and 2 of this question and all. President of India determines qualification of chairman and the president and members of the president of India select the correct options like both A and R are true. R is correct. Both A and R are true, but R is not a correct expression. R is true, but R not the expression. But R is false, but R is come false, but R. What is finance committee? By the president of the party of the two distinct working in addressing the vertical impact of the matters, and whenever you require a financials commission, uh, that is in the finance commission chairman was Sri N.K. Singh. So his committee, this he has given many. It is a main. What is the main function of finance commission? The center of tax, divided between location, special needs, was being laid down by the commission, by the parliament. Correct answer above finance federation. It chairman was qualification under the provisions of one. So we'll have president, the for the constitution. When that person is a qualification, four members will be who are being very qualified to appoint a judge of court or a special account have a qualification. High Court justice can be a very tough knowledge, experience as an admin, special knowledge of economic persons can recommend and the orders of the president. Recommending cardinal. When was for the first finance was set up? It was in this month. have a first chairman of finance. Commission combination pocket and three four options. Question four. Okay, that's fine. Refer to the previous service. One, two. How's the sections going on? What are the things? What do you feel about the section? Really do. How is it? Right? With the questions, we are giving a lot of more than the questions go to explanation. Also, no, for Lakshmi, our Lakshmi. I'm having more than that of Lakshmi discussed here. Apart from Lakshmi, also I'm discussing. That's what. Fine. So, so-called B get a 10% that you are being all yours or winding up the section. Watch section talking to these questions on important thing. Oh, right. Of the section really going well and it's winding up the section a lot. Doubt you can since this is a premiering. Right.